Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Brought to you by OnPay, Atlanta's new standard in payroll. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. But before we get started, it's important to recognize our sponsor, OnPay. Without them, we couldn't be sharing these important stories. Today on Atlanta Business Radio, we have Cal Burlock with STEMReps. Welcome, Cal.
Thank you so much, Lee, for having us. We're excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us a little bit about STEMReps. How you serving folks?
Absolutely. Well, STEMReps is a platform that connects innovative manufacturers with their end users. We represent science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and we use a highly trained technical sales and marketing force to go out and bring impactful science to human use. So in order to explain this appropriately, I have to kind of go from general to specific. If you've ever wondered how MARTA or Delta or any hospital or university for that matter gains its actual technology, they usually leverage a highly trained, credible employee of the manufacturer who's known as an executive account manager or an account executive to come out and speak about the solutions and benefits of their technology. And then they guide the institution, be it MARTA, Delta, or any one of those, through a purchasing process. What we've done is privatize that, taking that out of the employer's hands and created an outsource that does those exact things. So that's a very general explanation of what we do. In that, we serve three groups. We serve the manufacturers, we serve the end users who need the technology, and then we serve this middle group to take the technology out to the end users. And we have technology ranging from robotics and automation and chemical reagents used in the university down to sanitizer, soaps, and wipes that are, fighting the pandemic that we're in right now. So quite a spread of technology and knowledge base. So
what was the genesis of the idea? How did it come about?
Sure. Well, I had for years been myself an account executive working for companies like Roche, one of the largest companies, pharmaceutical companies in the world, working for Leica Biosystems, PerkinElmer, several multinational large technology producers. I mean, well-known, top of the line, technology coming out of these companies. And prior to going to that, I had been a teacher. I taught at Marist, I taught at South Cobb, and a couple other places around Atlanta. So STEMReps was really the amalgamation of my experience in the world as a scientist and as a provider of technology, my ability to teach, right? And the desire to get economic development going. So I finished Morehouse here in Atlanta and graduated in history and education. And my entire life had always been about trying to kind of figure out what is going on in America, right, with the economy and with the different, melting pot expressions that we have here in the country. And I felt that for African Americans, many times the holy grail that's been missing is economic development. There have been attempts the entire time throughout the history of the country, but they were thwarted or either successful locally, but we need a lot more of that. And so I saw STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, as the best vehicle and the broadest spectrum vehicle to drive economic development, not only for African Americans, but for everyone. So I built this structure to say, I really can create this same amazing job and this amazing life outside of an employer. So we're an alternative pathway. We take people from soup to nuts, and they're prepared to walk into the boardroom and negotiate and construct deals.
So how does STEMReps impact like those people in K through 12 or in college, or how do you serve that constituent?
Sure. Great question. Most STEM programs, and we have been around for about 5.5 years. So when we first started using the moniker STEM, people were like, what's that? Stem cells, right? But most STEM programs, STEM nights, they're all related to K through 12 education. And I wanted to do something that was post K through 12, something where the young adult could pick up STEM and continue their education, and not only their education, but their employment into STEM. So I purposely did not go into K-12. We target college students forward, adult learners, folks who might want second jobs, folks who might be looking to start their own businesses. And we search out those folks so that you have a adult STEM education and an adult STEM applications. In many ways, STEM is still very foreign to adult learners. They're still like, hey, man, I'm trying to get a little bit of it. I bought a new computer and I'm a little dangerous there, but STEM in general is something that's missing us. We need no better example than how our country has dealt with this pandemic these last couple of years. My specialty has been biotech and healthcare tech. So when this came along, this literally fell into our wheelhouse. I mean, I've been doing immunology and microbiology and lab science for, 15 years. So none of the stuff, be it related to the vaccine or to the virus, is foreign to me. So it afforded us an opportunity to speak to adults. We have a media channel that we teach and try to put to bed a lot of misinformation. We have a situation where Blacks are dying at nearly 3 times the rate still, even though there's been we're in the middle of a lower part of the surge. And out of the surge into a low point, numbers in the Black community are still fairly high, and the deaths are still nearly 3 times the rate of others. And a good part of that has to do with vaccine hesitancy, a lot of misinformation that's being passed about. So we saw this as an opportunity to leverage that side of our profession, the education piece. Our motto is learn, earn, grow, solve. And we do all 4 of those things. So, of course, you can learn with us. You can certainly represent our solutions and earn with us. We're going to grow your network, grow your resume, and we're going to solve some of the toughest human challenges.
So let's talk about each one of those. We talked a little bit already about the learning, where you're trying to educate folks about what's what out there and the benefits, I would think, of leaning into a STEM-related career, because there's so much opportunity here, and employers are just desperate for people with the skills necessary to help them grow. So I could see tremendous educational opportunities. How does the earning opportunities come into play? How do you help folks earn, maybe either a full-time or secondary income?
Absolutely. So we will recruit people to come into our learning, to take up our technical training, and then place them as account executives to the field. So we have teams that serve universities. So like Georgia Tech, we provided them a 3D bioprinter for their bioengineering department. Very cutting edge stuff. We only touch the most cutting edge, the literal bleeding edge. Is actually part of our religion and our badge of honor. We call the premise promise. We won't touch anything unless it's very disruptive. And so we send people forth. They go out to universities, they go out to doctors' offices, clinical environments, daycares, and provide our technology. Again, from general to specific, even though we provide robotics and automation and all that kind of high-level stuff for research laboratories, we also provide to daycare schools. We provide a technology in antimicrobial that actually lasts much longer on the surfaces and much longer in your hands. So right as the pandemic came, prior to that, we were actually already in antimicrobials. We were already representing non-leaching technology. So we have people who take this out and they make commissions off of sales and off of the relationships that they build. If they're really good, we will promote them on to the more technical team, where they'll actually be talking to cancer labs and protein and genetics labs and so forth. So we've got something for just about every technical skill level. We do qualify you and test you and make sure that you're ready to represent us correctly, and send you out, and you make commissions on those sales.
So is that a difficult conversation to have with folks? I'm sure people are attracted to the idea of, hey, there's money to be made doing this kind of work, and people need this kind of work. But this isn't like, you have to be educated, and this kind of learning, some people struggle with this kind of science-based learning.
Lee, you're so right. I mean, that's been a little bit for me, because I've always been certified nerd, right? So I knew when I started this, I said, well, we're not like a multi-level marketing organization. We're not just open to everybody. We're very specific on the kind of talent base that we're looking for. This is science and tech, so you need to be polished when you actually walk into an environment or you reach out to them. So we do a good job at qualifying the right kind of people. And it's not for everyone. We want to get those folks who are on the fence, who don't think they can learn tech, but they just need the right kind of teacher. And for me, in my experience, our program, what we've set up, has been the right kind of teaching to really reach out to people. So not for everybody, but I think for a lot of folks, especially for those who are coming out of K through 12, who've had STEM education for these last 15 years or so, and they're at least in the conversation. Well, we want to take that forward and show them how to earn money with it.
So now, how did you get involved with that Staples program where you won $5,000? Sure
thing. We are always looking for resources. We're always looking to collaborate and partner. My mantra this year has been collaboration is the new tech. So we were, I think, cruising on social media, probably on Facebook, and I saw the application, and I was like, this is for me. And I dove right into filling things out. When you're in our situation where, we have been relying on our organic growth and organic sales, we've not taken on any investment. When you're in that situation and kind of bootstrapping along, every partner that comes to the table is really helpful. And so to be able to get, $5,000, which will go to our equipment, go to making us not look so amateurish on our TV channel. I've never been a TV channel producer, and yet here I have a channel that, goes to 200 million homes and 200 countries. And so I've had that now for about 4 months, and we're trying to do as best as we can to produce TV level quality. So we were able to buy some communication tools, new computers, software, business software. All of that is extremely helpful. So now I feel very outfitted, even though we're not done making our purchases. I feel very outfitted to approaching the market better and serving our constituencies much better.
And then, so what is next for STEMReps now that you have kind of some funding in place? You got a little bit of momentum now, and you're got these new channels that you're able to kind of get the word out on. What's next for you and your team?
Hey, the sky and all of space, man. STEM is an explosive metaverse. There really is no end to it. I always say, my strong suit has been biotech, healthcare tech, but there's STEM in everything, from food science to audio engineering to oil and petroleum to materials engineering. So as long as we bring on the expertise and a corresponding cutting edge product set, there is no limit to where we're going. Where we are right now, as far as the very next step, is to pour gasoline on our model. We're looking for new partners, new collaborations. We may entertain some investment, looking for more customers, looking, to serve our community. I will say, I know I've said a lot here on this interview, but one of I'd say the tip of our spear right now is biosafety, is giving our community the tools that they need to fight the pandemic. So we do regular education on that, just broadly to the public, right? Do a clubhouse a couple nights a week. We try to on our television channel. I've got an episode there I call What to Tell Your Kids About COVID, where it's a non-threatening way for really the adults. It's really written for the parents, but it's got kid in the title. So hopefully people will watch it and go, oh yeah, let me see what to tell my kid, and actually get educated themselves. So that's on the channel. We just want to pour gasoline on our model. We want to reach more customers, protect more environments. The kinds of testimonies that I get coming out of some of the environments that we've impacted are just phenomenal. We've got daycares, churches, schools who've been who've been pretty much without COVID, or have not been able to have the infection spread that they usually would have. I mean, like longtime daycare owners. You've owned a daycare for 15 years, and you know that hand, foot, mouth disease, third disease, norovirus, flu, these are things that are common in a daycare. Well, when we come in and coat those environments, we put down a 90-day germ killer. It's a barrier that goes on all the surfaces, the floors, the drawer pulls, the switches, right, and kills microbes that land there. And all of a sudden, your absenteeism goes down, your employee absenteeism goes down, right? And you're not losing kids who are getting sick, and your daycare operators are not sick every day. And it's a real impact. So that's what we're in it for, to make, a real impact. And we want to do that in more places. Our message is that everyone needs to upgrade their kind of their disinfectant technology right now. So
Now, what's an actionable piece of advice you can share with other founders when you're launching, especially one of these mission-based organizations where your work not only can generate revenue, but it also can really make an impact in a community?
Sure. Our job is to serve. If I'm not serving anyone today, I'm failing. And that's the way I see it. Obviously I told you the heart of this is economic development, but we believe that economic development comes when you serve others, when you provide value to your community. So I would say don't give up and don't lose the focus of providing a service and being of service to your community. I think it starts there. And collaborate is the new tech. So there are people who are more attuned to doing maybe some facets of your business, perhaps. Collaborate, find those folks and build a consensus and a team approach in whatever vehicle you guys choose. But yep.
Well, Cal, if somebody wants to learn more about STEMReps, whether they want to learn, they want to earn, they want to grow, what is the website?
Sure. We're at www.STEMReps.com, just like it sounds, STEMReps.com. We're on all social media at STEMReps, and definitely reach out to us at any of those sites. We have contact forms on every page of our website, so you can drop in a note, say, hey, I'd like to join the group. I'd like to learn, earn, grow, solve with you. I want to partner with you in some way. We're completely open for that. So we're just growing now, man. It's really just growing and scaling.
Well, thank you again for sharing your story. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
All right. Well, I appreciate the ability to get on your platform and tell people about it. So thank you so much.
All right. This is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio.